sensitive here?
No, not at all. So?
We see a woman talking about how she doesn't want to die. She wants to stay youthful and pretty forever. As the movie begins, we meet Kira Mabon, a woman who is romantically involved with Jonas Swertzinski. They spend the night together after a delightful evening at the bar. He brings her to his place. When Kira wakes up the next morning, Jonas is already gone and her attempts to contact him have failed. Walking it off as a lost chance, Kira leaves the apartment without thinking further about it. On the way, she calls her friend Martha to tell her about her 5th date night. However, the friend suddenly ends the call, implying that Kira's account of the event is doubtful. As if Kira had just made it all up. Just then, Kira realizes that she inexplicably walked back into Jonas's apartment. She enters the apartment in a confused state. The apartment has changed from the moment she just left, and it seems strangely familiar. She recognizes the furniture and the bills have her name on them, as if she had been there a long time ago. When she enters a particular room, Kira also has a vision of a little girl who looks just like her playing there. In a panicked state, she frantically calls the number saved as home, and to her surprise, the landline in the same apartment rings. All of this seems to tell Kira that this is her home. The only sign of Jonas is an old photo of him, and Kira, which looks like it was taken ages ago. Not able to understand the situation, Kira rushes to the washroom, where she notices that the skin on one of her fingers is crumbling. When she tries to tear them off, it starts to bleed, which makes her queasy, so she patches it again. Soon after, she hears a knock on the door and sees Martha through the peephole. While trying to open the door, the pain in her flaky finger becomes too much and she keels over. She gathers herself and opens the door quickly to stop Martha, but she's long gone. Instead, she meets her neighbor, Sophia Demeroy, who is studying Chinese literature. Although Kira seems to be meeting her for the first time, Sophia's conversation style suggests that they have known each other for a considerable amount of time. Kira is perplexed as to how she knows her, and Sophia responds that they had lived next door for a considerable amount of time. As they talk, Kira asks her whether she knows Jonas and shows her the picture of him. The latter, though, claims the photo is quite old and doesn't appear to recognize him. After that, Kira goes back to her flat and considers the circumstances for a while. When Sophia returns to Kira later that evening, she expresses concern for her health and suggests that she see a doctor. Kira replies that she has a document confirming her doctor's appointment, but she is unsure of the exact date of her most recent visit. With a few words of comfort from Sophia, she gets better gradually. After that, the two raise a glass of wine to each other. Kira's glass breaks into fragments when it falls from her hands during this. Even worse, Sophia cuts her foot slightly as she unintentionally walks on the broken pieces. After gathering the shattered glass and a small piece of Sophia's flesh, Kira leaves for the bathroom. There, she carefully changes out Sophia's foot skin for the skin on her finger. She is surprised to see that Sophia's skin swiftly turns her own. She feels that she has at last found a cure because of this. She can get smoother, more youthful-looking skin by replacing her flaky skin with healthier skin. When Kira awakens the next morning, she discovers that her skin condition become worse. She thus decides to seek medical attention, and upon meeting Dr. Rafaela Krober, she has her flaky skin meticulously sampled for testing. Kira inquires inquisitively about her prior visit, but the physician brushes it off as irrelevant. Dr. Rafaela eventually discloses that Kira's skin is prematurely aging due to abnormal cell degeneration. When Kira hears this, she asks about the potential for a skin transplant, but the doctor suggests delaying making a decision until the test results are in. In addition, Dr. Rafaela gives her some medicine to help with the pain and assures her that the condition will be fixed. Kira discovers later that the skin ailment has spread to her shoulder. She chooses to go to another hospital since she can't wait to hear the test results. She watches a mortician moving a dead body with flawless skin toward the morgue room while she waits for the doctor. Kira also seems to be jealous of the skin of the deceased. Dr. Cerny sees her shortly after and advises her to see the skin specialist. Kira leaves the office feeling defeated as she won't be getting cured immediately. She has an idea at that very moment. Her idea prompts her to sneak into the morgue room. After entering, she cuts a piece of skin from a dead body with a scalpel and tries to cover her shoulder wound. But the skin from the dead body doesn't heal as expected and doesn't stick to her skin. This is when Kira realizes that only fresh skins affect her flaky skin. Kira can't take the pain any longer and calls Dr. Rafaela, who can only advise her to stay calm, get some rest, and take the prescribed medication. Kira then goes into a bar to relieve her shoulder wound with a drink. The bar, her attention is drawn to a waitress with smooth skin. Enraged by jealousy, Kira follows the waitress down to the basement, where she knocks her out and uses her shoulder to get skin for her flaky skin. And this time, the skin melds together perfectly, just like it did before. Later, Kira takes the unconscious waitress home intending to finish the procedure overnight. While Kira is enjoying the feeling of her skin feeling smooth, the waitress comes to and tries to scream for help, but Kira covers her mouth and stabs her in the neck, killing her. She then slowly takes off her flaky skin and replaces it with the newly acquired skin from the waitress. The next day, Kira visits Dr. Rafaela as the test results are finally available. The doctor says that it will take a few more days to determine the precise treatment plan. Kira is thrilled to see the smooth and impeccable condition of her new skin later on. While admiring herself in the mirror, she notices a spot on her shoulder starting to flake again. Just then, Sophia pays her a visit and admires her smooth and flawless skin. She also expresses her curiosity about the treatment for such an outcome, but Kira evades the truth, pretending that it was medication prescribed by the doctor. Eventually, their conversation takes a romantic turn, and they end up getting intimate the following day. Kira visits Dr. Rafaela again. However, the doctor adds that it will take a few more days to create a precise treatment plan. The doctor also adds that the hospital will give her a call before the appointments as the last time Kira was here. She mentioned that she had memory problems. Kira is unconcerned about the memory issues that Dr. Rafaela addressed. That night at the bar, Kira spots another woman with perfect skin and follows her to the bathroom, where she commits another murder to obtain her skin. After a quick skin replacement procedure, Kira leaves the bar undetected. Later, she notices that her flaky skin has started to spread throughout her entire body. That same evening, she and Sophia spent some private time together. When Sophia asks about her skin treatment again, Kira gets irritated and storms out of the room. Later on, she notices that her flaky skin has started to spread across her entire body. When Kira returns home, she is overcome with guilt over taking the lives of innocent people and is troubled by recurring flashbacks of her time with Jonas. She rushes to the bathroom in an attempt to calm herself down, but to her dismay, she finds herself in the mirror looking old. This causes her to become panicked for a brief while, but she is relieved when she realizes that someone else is being arrested by the police. Afterwards, when Sophia comes to see her again, and Kira lets her in this time. While Sophia is indulging in the music, Kira sneaks into the bathroom to see how the girl she seems to have abducted is doing. When Kira returns, she asks Sophia to examine her body for any indications of flaky skin on the back, and when she finds some, she suggests that she see a doctor. After Kira leaves, she replaces her skin with the abducted girl's. Later in the clinic, Dr. Rafaela tells Kira that they finally found a way to rejuvenate her skin, possibly delaying its deterioration. Kira is overjoyed to hear this news, but the doctor still wants more time to conduct a thorough investigation into the procedure. Unwilling to wait any longer, Kira breaks into the office and steals the treatment plan. When she gets home, the kidnapped girl appears to have managed to drag herself to the door, but Kira drags her back to the bathroom where she begins to clean the blood-stained floor. Later, she goes to Sophia's place with the stolen documents and the two watch the video together. The video shows a 60-year-old woman who is willing to take part in an experimental procedure to reverse aging. At the end of the video, the elderly woman transforms into a younger version. Shockingly, it is disclosed that this woman is none other than Kira herself. We also find out that she was divorced from Jonas 20 years ago after giving birth to a daughter, a fact she cannot remember. This revelation deeply disturbs her, and she finds herself unsure of how to face the remainder of her life now that her skin is aging more quickly. Interestingly, Sophia doesn't appear surprised by any of this, but instead reassures her that she will always be by her side. In an attempt to discover the whole truth, Kira calls her adult daughter and breaks down in tears when she finds out that she has a child of her own. Unable to process all of this information, Kira wishes to flee far away to a place where no one knows who she is. Sophia agrees to go with her and begins packing up her belongings. Before they leave the apartment, Kira pours gasoline all over her room and sets it on fire, destroying any last remnants of her family's memories. Kira then decides to visit her daughter's home, and when she gets there, a small child, possibly her granddaughter, answers the door. The two engage in a brief conversation, but upon seeing Kira's flaky skin, the little girl is horrified and screams. As a result, she hurriedly departs from the place, being unable to confront her daughter. After that, Kira and Sophia stay at a motel, and by then Kira's skin condition has gotten worse. Sophia tells Kira to see Dr. Rafaela, but the latter refuses. At this point, Sophia confesses the truth about her background in biochemistry and how she worked with Dr. Rafaela to monitor Kira. She also reveals that there was a sedative in Kira's water, which knocks the latter unconscious. In the following scene, Kira wakes up restrained on a lab table. Shortly after, Dr. Rafaela approaches her and apologizes, acknowledging that test subjects shouldn't have been allowed outside of the lab. She also explains that Kira's missing memories are a side effect of the regeneration process. Dr. Rafaela starts torturous experiments that last for several days in an attempt to figure out how Kira's skin seamlessly fuses with foreign tissue. After seeing her partner suffer, Sophia gets upset with the doctor and tries to free her. Dr. Rafaela injects a substance into Sophia's neck to stop her from doing so, but somehow Sophia fights back, buying Kira some time to heal. Shortly after, Kira takes a metal container and knocks down the doctor before strangling her to death. The doctor then tries to exchange Kira's skin for the doctor's, but Sophia stops her from doing so because she doesn't want Kira to commit another crime. As the injection's effects take effect, Sophia's condition deteriorates. Seeing this, Kira makes a courageous decision. She kills several medical staff, takes a gun from one of them, and goes in pursuit of an antidote for Sophia. In a room, Kira encounters a young nurse, and her attractive skin makes her unable to control her desires. Later, when Kira returns to her partner, Sophia discovers that she has once again killed someone, as evidenced by her smooth skin. Acknowledging that she has turned into a serious threat to people, Sophia gives her one final kiss before shooting her to death. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up as it really supports the channel. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any of our upcoming content. Also, if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments below. I love reading your feedback, and it helps me create content that you're interested in. Stay awesome!